Hi, welcome to the 6th episode of The Artistic Spirit. My name is Robin Holliday, and I'm the owner and curator of HorseSpirit Arts Gallery here in historic Ellicott City, Maryland. We have with us tonight a fabulous painter, Trudy Babchak. But before we get to Trudy, I'd like to introduce you to Robert Hix from Enlightened Audiovisual, and he's going to tell us how this works tonight. Rob?
Hey, Robin, how are you?
Good, welcome.
Thanks. It's good to be on your show. In fact, It's good to produce your show.
Yes, the show would not be possible without you. So Rob, you want to explain to people how it's going to work tonight?
I absolutely do, but before we get started, I want to say hi to Candy Sakai. She said, sorry, I missed last week. Charlene is here. Beverly Hunter is also here.
Excellent.
Yeah. She says no sound. I hope there is sound. In any event, so the way this works is this is an interactive show. This is not television where you sit back and just kind of listen to us. We want you guys to talk with us. Ask questions. You're going to really love Trudy. She's an amazing painter. I spent a good portion of the day with her yesterday, and you guys are going to see basically a start to finish speed frame stop of her painting from beginning to end. You're going to love it. So leave comments, and thank you guys very much for being here.
Thank you, Rob.
All right.
So let me tell you a little about Trudy. So Trudy is a very accomplished painter. Her work resides in collections all across the United States. She got her undergraduate degree at the University of Maryland in College Park in art. And then she got her post-baccalaureate degree at the Maryland Institute, the College of the Arts, known as MICA here, which is a really good school. Following that, she had, a very rich career. And where she is right now is she's working for the Columbia Art Center. She is their gallery specialist. She also right at this moment, is teaching an oil painting class. One thing I want you to know about Trudy is that she welcomes doing commissions. So Trudy, welcome to the show.
Hi, Robin. Hi, everybody. I'm glad to be here.
It's delightful to have you. I see paintings behind you.
You do. Those are, I will tell you more subject matter, but yes, two faces, they're kind of abstract, as you can see.
Nice. Well, Trudy, as we get started, let's talk about what inspires you as an artist.
Okay. Well, my work is very content-driven, and it's rather emotionally driven. And I've always been interested in painting the figure. And I was searching for content, some meaning to my paintings, and I decided that I would, it just came to me that I needed to paint my family. And my history of my family is my mother's parents and whole family, and my father's parents and whole family were in concentration camps in World War II, and all their families were exterminated except for them. And my parents never talked about it. So I had this big hole in my gut and my heart, and I needed to find out what had happened. So I've done a lot of research online and through books and things, pictures, and I've been painting about mostly the Holocaust, but mostly the women and the children in it. I have always been interested in the group dynamics of women and children in that type of situation, in being put in a big group with other people. Are they lonely? Do they make friends? How just the dynamics of that situation and my family.
First of all, I'm very sorry for your family's loss.
Yes.
Very sorry for your loss growing up, because it lasts for generations. It's just not the people it happened to, but
Yeah.
how everybody reacts along the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been dealing with it all my life, obviously, and I know that it affected the way I am today.
Yeah. Well, you're a very soulful and kind person, and I feel honored to have you in the gallery and represent you and be your friend.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I did do some research. I once went to the Holocaust Museum and I met someone there who'd been in the war herself, been in concentration camps. And it was interesting the way going back to the women thing, she had said that except for being the war and being the horror that it was, she made friends there. She made some wonderful friends, and that was encouraging to me.
Absolutely. Trudy, before we get started talking about individual pieces of art, tell us about your art not having faces. What does that mean to you?
I can do faces. Some people think I can't, but I like the idea of it being anybody or everybody. So I don't want to give them features. I don't want you to concentrate on their face. Even these couple of faces you see back here, they're rather abstract. Mm-hmm. And there's one face back here that I did in school, actually, and I was wiping it away because I didn't like it. And the teacher said, stop. He said, you're done. And I never would have thought to stop and to wipe out a face, but he encouraged me to that. And I think I went on from that saying, I don't need the features.
Well, it makes for a very soulful painting. Mm-hmm. It really does.
Mm-hmm. And I'll be able to read in what you see in it. I want you to put your own emotions in it. And I often don't tell people the story behind my paintings. My paintings actually look like very happy paintings, as you know. Mm-hmm. They're girls dancing, they're people getting together, and the colors are bright and pastels and nice. And I don't usually tell people the story about them, but I do sometimes. And I think maybe I should let people know the story more. So I do appreciate this opportunity because the story needs to be told. And it's not just the Holocaust. It's a lot of things that are happening today in the whole world.
Absolutely. And I honor your courage for telling people. Listen, there's a woman online, Kay Weeks, and she says you are the best artist ever.
She's a good friend of mine. Thank you, Kay.
Well,
very supportive of my art.
You're loved by a lot of people, Trudy.
Thank you.
Well, how about if we go online or go back to Rob and let him show us the video he did of you and your artwork and even painting.
Okay, and I will relate some of my history to the paintings that you see.
Wonderful. So what are we looking at here, Trudy?
Okay, this is where I work. This is actually, I'm here right now. This is my director, Liz Hensey, at the Columbia Art Center. And as a gallery specialist, I install the shows and coordinate the shows. This is our latest exhibit, which is Blossoms of Hope, Words of Inspiration. And we happen to be having a lecture that night, and that's why all the chairs are there. And we just set that show, and there's one blank spot in there because we didn't have the painting for that yet.
Oh, and that's your painting.
That is my painting. So we're putting up my painting. We work good as a team. I hold the painting and position it, and she hammers it.
Nice. Now, what's this?
This is the gift shop at the Art Center. And this is our Studio 2. And this is where I do my painting. And this is also where I teach oil painting. And I usually teach tonight, but tonight I'm doing this. So,
oh, well, I'm glad you're here.
But I'm painting. It's good change. Thank you. And here I am starting a little painting, 8x10, which I do a lot of. And I usually like to start with a background, but underpainting, I usually like to start with red. That's just vibrant for me, and it inspires me. And I add coffee to the paintings for texture. And if you see some bumps in the painting, that's going to be the coffee grounds.
It makes for a beautiful piece.
Yeah, I like the texture. And here I'm painting little girls, and I'll just tell you a little more about them shortly. And I just start out blocking in the local color, the local form, and I'm blocking in their white dresses. And these are based on a picture that I have right above the red canvas of girls in the Holocaust, and they were standing on top of a hill, and they were like dancing and having fun. And it just struck me that that's what I wanted to paint, needed to paint. And I have girls in almost everything I do, and there's the picture. And by the time the girls is they are Jewish girls who are hidden from the during the war, and they're hidden in convents. They happen to be in an Italian convent, so they're living peacefully and having fun while the world is exploding around them. So that's these little, again, so you see my colors are happy, the girls are happy, and I like the contradiction of the sadness and the sorrow and the happiness, because I think that's me and it's everybody. Like bows in their hairs, and that's from the original picture. They have the white little dresses and the purity, see the bows, and they have little red shoes and little white socks.
Oh.
And then you can see the texture of the coffee grounds, and I like the red showing as the outline. I leave some of the red showing through the painting.
That is such a sweet painting, Trudy.
Yeah,
just sweet.
That's why the story is evident or not evident.
Well, we thank Candy Sakai. I'm so glad you're online. Candy is a very talented photographer, but unfortunately she is in Hong Kong right now, and she just says, great teamwork.
She's actually in Tokyo. She's in Tokyo.
Hey, Beverly. Hi. I enjoyed your video, Beverly.
Oh, and Beverly says you're a lovely lady.
So she's beautiful and lovely.
Okay, Trudy, you have a bunch of art in the gallery. I think you have almost 25 pieces. You just brought me 18. So how about if we look at some of them and you let the viewer know what they're looking at?
Okay. That is an interesting painting. I did that. That's actually of my niece. Her name's Madison. And what I liked about that was I borrowed the picture from them because I loved the red tulips in the background, the red dress. And again, it's a little girl. I'm attracted to the little girls. And her attitude. She's very proud. And I just liked the pose and the stance. Again, another girl, the white dress. This painting has like 3 other paintings under it. I'm really bad about doing that. I start changing one thing, then the whole thing changes. And it's been like, you've seen other paintings. You don't know what they are, but they're under there.
Yeah, I have seen you do that. I've seen you do that.
I wish I wouldn't, actually. I wish I would just start another canvas, but I don't.
Oh, now this is front and center in the gallery right now. I just hung it today. Tell us about this painting.
And again, the women and the girls in the front are taken off of the girls dancing, which is a lot of what I do. And it's on top of another painting. It needed space. And then I thought I'm going to do angels because I feel like that's the positive side. That's the spirit. That's the hope. So this is the big guardian angel watching over the other women, the other angels who are. And there's one angel in there. This is based on one of my pictures from my family from the Holocaust. This was an aunt. Mm-hmm. And that's why it looks like 1930s, 1940s. And I have one picture of the whole family, and that's what she was wearing. She was wearing that coat. And that's 11 by 14. I have a door-sized picture of that, like done on an actual door. It's very similar.
Wow, I look forward to receiving that.
You want the door size? You can have them.
Oh, I do. Oh my gosh, Trudy. Okay, tell us about these.
These are party girls. They're a little nasty. Liz Henze, my director, and I collaborated on these. She did the papers. It's collage. She did all the marble papers, all those beautiful colors and textures. And I drew the women and collaged them together. And
they're fabulous.
Yeah.
Just know that they're going to be hung upstairs in the gallery.
Those are very popular. We even, we're going to make prints of those too, I think, little prints.
I think that's fabulous. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is my favorite painting in the gallery.
This one has a lot of texture under it, a lot of coffee. In case you need a caffeine fix, you can go sniff the painting. It again is the girls holding hands. They're a little more abstract in this. And I think in this one, they're a little more solemn, and it's called They're Angels Among Us. And they're the girls, and they're like angel forms behind the girls. There's a background, which I don't usually do backgrounds. There's a little bit of a vague background in this. And it's there's some of the texture. I use old paint as texture too. I pick up old paint off my palette, and it dries in solid sheets like films. And I put the film of paint down, and that gives texture.
It's a very Soulful painting.
Mhm.
Now
Again,
we're back to happy.
what's that?
Now we're back to happy.
Yeah, these are the girls dancing. And this is like dance in springtime. It is happy. But again, it's based on the same girls. And
Look at that.
yeah, they're the springtime. They're happy. They're spiritual. And the colors they're bright colors. They're happy colors. Okay, that is, so for these latest series of paintings, I was focusing on angels. And this used to be another painting that you had in the gallery, but I modified it. Do you remember which one it was?
No, I have no idea, because whenever you modify it means it's completely different.
Well, it was the only thing that stays the same. She's holding one flower. When you had it before, she was holding a bouquet of flowers, and it was all white with bouquet flowers.
Oh, I remember that painting.
Yes, I think you do.
Oh my gosh.
She turned into an angel.
Well, there you go.
She got rid of all the flowers except one. And she has a little bit of a background, a spiritual sky type of background. I think she's very peaceful and very pretty. And okay, this is again Holocaust related. It's I call it the wanderers. It's people who are being how do I say, what were they when they were led away from their homes, when they were moved, they were walking away from their homes.
Wow.
But again, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be the sad story that I make it. I do need a story behind my works. I always have to tell myself a story. Again, what do you see? Little girls.
They're adorable.
I use those colors a lot. I do them in groups. I do them singly. Here they're singled out. And these are small ones. I work anywhere from 4 by 4, which those are 4 inches by 4 inches, to a door, which is 7 feet by 3 feet.
Yes. And I certainly have sold some of those in the gallery.
Yeah, you have. I like gesture. I like the movement. This is, again, an angel with I was having trouble how to do wings. So this just kind of became a background, but then I decided it kind of looked like a wing. And so that's my winged angel.
It's beautiful. It's very meaningful.
Again, no face, a little bit of shadow. A little bit of red peeking out from the red backgrounds.
Now here's some of your smaller pieces.
Yes. These are, I think, 6 by 6. And again, they're based on the angels. Again, you can see the different styles of wings. I was trying to figure out how do I want to do the wings.
They're all lovely.
Wings are not that easy to do, I found out. And I started to do a series of kids at play. I was going to do all sorts of playground. Like this one is jumping rope. I did one of swings. You had one of swings, a girl on a swing. And
That's sold.
She was in the sky swinging, yeah.
Yeah, that one's sold.
Mm-hmm. So that was from a series of playground. I only did 3 or 4 in that series. And she has a face.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. And I see your red outline.
Uh-huh.
Well, first of all, Johnny Rose has joined us, and her grandson wants his own painting next.
That's my son-in-law.
Oh, and then Nancy Dixon Smith says that Trudy is an excellent painter and teacher.
Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, she would have been with me painting tonight.
There you go.
Nancy.
Trudy, one thing that comes to mind listening to you is this quote that I think Viktor Frankl said, and it was about the Holocaust. And he said, the one thing a person has control over is their attitude in any set of circumstances. And that's what your girls who feel joyful in the midst of all that horror
Yes.
remind me of.
Yeah, it's the dichotomy of life. It's both sides.
Yes. And I do understand that although that horror happened a long time ago, that there are some frightening things happening now that bring this to the forefront.
Yeah. And I just wish I knew more about my family and this, I paint them like when I did the life-sized ones, I painted from one picture, and I did doors. I had an exhibit, and I put each person on a separate door, and they were in a room. And in the middle of the room, I had a dining table, and the dining table was set with only one place setting, and that was for my mother, because all the others who were in the paintings had passed, and she was the only survivor, so hers was the place setting.
Wow.
Yeah, so it brings a lot back to me.
That's very meaningful. Trudy, how do you get the inspiration for a particular piece?
I look at a lot of images. I go online. I look at books. I'm very people oriented. I don't do many still lifes or landscapes. I have, but again, I need the story. So I look for something that I usually need an image. It might not necessarily come out looking like the image, but it starts with something that I can see. And I listen to music. I listen to music that tells a story. I listen to Bob Dylan, Leonard Cohen, and they're both very narrative, and that's how I paint.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. All right, so we have some hello to you, Trudy. We have Bill Knapp, Carlos Petta, Wendy Ing, and Iris Grundler. Also,
I know them. Hi, Wendy and Nancy Ennis, and I will be doing the show here at HorseSpirit. It opens Sunday, and the reception is Sunday, 1 to 4. And I'm honored to be showing with them, and it's a great combination of art. Wendy does beautiful painted eggs, and Nancy does gorgeous jewelry, and I'm the painter. It's going to be beautiful.
And what's the name of your show?
Adventures in Design.
I know. It's going to be lovely. I'm in the midst of hanging it right now. And if you want to be an early bird, by Sunday morning at 11 when we open, the whole show will be done.
Oh, I don't envy you. I know what it's like to set a show.
But yours is an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Trudy, what else would you like people to know?
Let me think. I think art is about survival, and I think it's needed in the world, and I think it tells a story. I'm honored to be part of telling a story, and it's beautiful. It brings beauty. It brings beauty, emotion, and brings people closer together.
That's really beautifully said. That's beautifully said.
Mm-hmm. And in my paintings, I also, besides all this ethereal things, I love exploring texture. I love exploring different techniques. That's why I add different, like coffee and different things to my paints. I was thinking of adding dirt. I've added salt. Mm-hmm. So I like experimenting, and I like coming up with something a little bit different. I want a little bit of edge to them. And
all your paintings are quite different. In fact, I had a couple in the gallery tell me they didn't like anything in the gallery. And then I said, well, I have a couple of paintings. These were large paintings, Trudy, of men, and they were in the closet, and I pulled them out and they bought them on the spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were almost doors. They were like 7 feet by 2 feet, something like that.
Yeah. Can you tell us about those two paintings?
Well,
what did they mean to you?
They were actually angst, despair. I think they were very sad paintings. Do you think that?
I do. And it meant a lot to those people.
Did it? They were like tortured figures. They were done with oil stick and oil paint. So they were very linear, and they were drawn instead of solid brushstrokes and painting. They were like a drawing in color. And it was mostly yellows and browns. Yeah, and you're like, I would say in poses, they were standing upright, but they were in poses that were uncomfortable.
Yeah. Trudy, the last question, what would you say to an aspiring brand new artist? So I have found people come into the gallery and tell me they have no talent, or they tried painting one time and they gave up. So what would you say?
I really think anybody can paint. I think you just need to learn a few skills. And I think I do oil painting and acrylics, and I have done watercolor. I think actually oil painting is very easy. You can go over your mistakes, you can create and loosen up. I think just do it. It's fun. It's people think they can't do it. I think they can do it.
I agree with you. You know, my grandmother, who I adored, used to tell me that life was like an oil painting, that if didn't go the way you wanted, you just let it sit for a little bit and you went back and you fixed it.
That's beautiful. Yeah. And you can fix it. You can change it. You can change your life. You can change your painting.
Trudy, you're such a good instructor. Why don't you tell people about your classes? Because I'll bet there's people who want to take your classes.
Well, I teach oil painting Thursday nights at this time, 6:30 to 9.
Thank you to your class who let you be here.
And my classes, thank you, class, for letting me be here. Yay. They're a good group of people. And it's a fun class. It's not like you're in college or, not like you're taking a hard graded course. We learn how to paint, then we paint what we want to paint, and we get advice, and we talk, and we discuss things, and it's a very communal group. It's a very nice group, and it's from beginners to advanced, and I have a lot of return students.
So now you're teaching oil paintings, but don't you also paint in acrylics?
I do. This is different. I like acrylics because they are fast and you can get something done quick and it dries and you can see the result right away. Mm-hmm. I like oil painting because I just love the buttery texture of it. I love the smell of it. I love the feel of it. And you can do more. It doesn't dry right away, so you can manipulate it for longer. And I change things a lot, as you know. So I like switching around and changing things. And that's more accessible with oils.
Well, Trudy, it has been a delight to be with you tonight. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I just want to thank you for the opportunity to do this and to show my work and to meet you and all the wonderful artists that are in your gallery. And they're a special group. They really are. And I'm honored to be part of it. And thank you.
Thank you, Trudy. And you're a big part of that.
Thank you.
Love to you.
Love to you too.
Well, now at this part of the show, I'd like to introduce another business in historic Ellicott City. As you know, we had a horrific flood last July, on the 30th of July, and we are all trying to recover. And one of the places that I think a great deal of is a store called Matt About You. And it is owned by Chuck Gruss and his family. And Rob is going to show you a video. So Rob, over to you.
Hello, I'm Chuck Gruss, owner of Matt About You Custom Framing and Gallery in Old Ellicott City. We're located in the 3-story red house in the back left corner of parking lot B. Custom framing is mostly what we do. The custom framing process is something that sometimes folks are afraid of because they don't know the process. We can help you through that process. You can bring your piece of art through the door. We explain to you what we think works best with that piece. We want to make that piece look the best that it can. We don't want the framing to overtake the piece. We want it to complement the piece. One of the worst things we could hear as a framer is first thing somebody looks at a piece of art says, "Oh my, isn't that a beautiful frame?" Well, then we haven't done our job because we've overshadowed the piece. We want you to bring your piece in, and we will sit down with you and explain to you what the best process to make that piece look as best it possibly can. We have thousands of frame options. We do not lack for choices of frames or mats. So if you bring your piece in, we'll work with you. We will design the piece and give you an estimate. Everything is free. So bring the piece in. It's better to do that instead of maybe calling and asking, here's a size and an estimate for a price. We can do that, but bring the piece in. It doesn't cost anything. So if you're interested in having one of your pieces custom framed, best way to get a hold of us is give us a call. 410-313-8860 is our phone number. We also have a website, mattaboutyou, all spelled out, .com. And we also have a Facebook page. Matt About You is on Facebook also. So please give us a call. Come on in and visit us here in Old Ellicott City. Thanks.
So I want to tell you a little bit about Chuck. He is a retired police officer, and I think he worked in homicide for a long time. And then he came back and he is working in his family's business. He works closely with Gerard, who I believe is his wife's, somehow related to his wife. Is what? Father-in-law. Anyway, I take my paintings, the ones that I buy, into their place. And what I had in mind is not what I end up at all. It turned out so much better than anything I had envisioned. So I'm a big fan of theirs. Chuck is very supportive of historic Ellicott City and is a staple here and a particular bedrock of the art community. So we are just thrilled to be with Chuck and have him in Ellicott City. I hope you will come and visit us soon. What I want to tell you about is what next week is going to look like. So that is going to be April 6th. We're going to have ceramic artist Charlene Randolph with us. She is very talented. Her pieces are unique, one of a kind, and my favorite thing is her glazes are spectacular. So tune in next Thursday night at 7 o'clock to see Charlene's work. Listen, it was lovely to be with you tonight. Thank you again, Trudy. Thank you again, Rob. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye-bye.